Hello students, welcome to the class of part 3 video of crop production and management. Hope you all are learning well, understanding the topics. So repeat after me. So far what all agricultural practices we have learned. The first one was preparation of soil, sowing, adding manure and fertilizers, irrigation, and today we are going to learn about protecting from weeds. So this is my last video of this lesson. So after this video I am going to send notes of this lesson. So hope you have purchased the classworks, textbooks and all. So make notes of 200 pages king size book notes ruled, and you can you know how to write the notes and all. Put the topic in a topic box, and you can start writing the notes. So this is what. So shall I start with the video now? So that is protection from weeds. Now what are weeds? So weeds are also plants, green plants, but because they are growing in between our crops. So now we are having crop, isn't it? So in our imagination, we are prepared the soil, we have sown the seeds, okay, and after sowing our plants are growing now. And to grow it healthy, we have added manure and fertilizers. We have also irrigated the field. Yes, imagine that our fields, imagine our field that our crops have grown green, and we are irrigating the field at regular intervals. Our plants are growing healthy. But now it's time to protect our plants from weeds. What are these weeds? These weeds are undesirable plants that are growing along with the main crop. For example, think that we have grown wheat plant. Okay, we are having a field and we have grown wheat plant. So we have grown wheat plant, but along with the wheat plant, a undesirable crop. Undesirable means we have not sown it. We are not growing it. But some undesirable some undesirable plants are growing along with the main crop. So those undesirable plants are called weeds. So that this weed is of no use for us because we are not harvesting its crop, and even some weeds are poisonous. They are toxic. Okay, so sometimes these weeds may come along with the main crop during harvesting. So we don't want these weed plants to grow. So such undesirable plants should be removed. Okay, and that process is called weeding. See here, let me read the point. Weeds. Undesirable plants that grow along with the main crop are called weeds. Weeds compete with the main crop for water, nutrients, space, light, and affect the growth of crop. Yes, these weeds are also plant. That is why they need water to grow, nutrients to grow, space to grow, light to grow. But as it is undesirable, we have not grown it. Then how did it grow? How did it come in the place of the wheat crop? See, we have studied about seed dispersal last year, that every plant will produce seeds after maturation. These seeds, some seeds are light, they get flown along with the air. Okay, so seed dispersal can be done along with air, water, by animals, birds, and all. That is why we are not sowing it. It may come along with water, air, birds, animals, and all. Okay, now these undesirable crops, they will compete with our main crop for food, water, space, and light. So what will happen to the main crop? Our main crop will be, the growth of our main crop will be hindered. So we have to remove these weeds. So that process of removing the weeds is called weeding. So that is next point. Removal of weeds is called weeding. And how to remove these weeds? So it is very easy to remove. Means to speak it is easy, but it may be difficult for the farmers. But there are various ways to remove the weeds. The first point is tilling or plowing. Tilling or tilling or plowing. Tilling or plowing before sowing of crops help us in uprooting and killing of weeds. Tilling or plowing is done during soil preparation. So that process we already learned that during preparation of soil, farmers will till and plow the soil. So while plowing, automatically the weeds that are grown at the top layer of the soil will be removed. It will be killed. So that is the first point we are doing. The next point is very important. This is a note. What is that note is the best time for the removal of weeds is before they produce flowers and seeds. So for these weeds, we should not allow these weeds to grow. Okay, to grow until they produce flower and seeds, because once they produce flowers and ultimately seeds, when they produce seeds, the seeds will disperse here and there, and again it will you are allowing the weeds to reproduce more and more. So then again the task will be difficult. So before the weeds produce flowers and seeds, we have to remove it. Third point, manual removal of weeds can be done by cutting them close to the ground time to time by a kurpi. So again and again the farmer should visit his field. He has to check whether there is any growth of weeds, and if there is any growth of weeds, he has to cut the weeds near the base with the help of the kurpi. And that kurpi you can see at the right side picture, and with that device or with that instrument he has to remove the weeds. Next point is a chemical method. Can you see here? Weeds can also be controlled by using certain chemicals called weedicides. See here the new word weedicides. Yes, weedicides means they are the chemicals used to control the weeds. So if we spray this chemical onto the field, the weeds will die. And what is that chemical? And the chemical name given in your test is 2,4-D. 2,4-D. There are so many other chemicals too. Okay, these chemicals, they are mixed with water and sprayed onto the weeds. Only the weeds will be killed, because we are spraying this chemical onto the weeds will die. And of course these are chemicals, so it is very dangerous to the farmers also, those who are spraying. Okay, so spraying of weeds affect the health of farmer, so he has to cover his face, nose while spraying. These are all dangerous chemicals. The next is harvesting. So understood about protecting from weeds, isn't it? The next is harvesting. So harvesting is a very important step where our farmers will feel so happy, because all these days he has dealt with these practices with patience, so that he wants to see his field the plants grown, matured and ready to harvest. So when do we harvest the crop? When our plants grow, flower and produce seeds, because we are looking onto the seeds. For example, if we are growing wheat plant, we want food grain. That wheat is nothing but a seed. So many other plants, for example, for some plants we use fruits. So harvesting, we have to wait for the fruit. For some plants we have to wait for seeds. So now this harvesting is a very important time where the farmer's effort have borne fruit, and it's time to relax and enjoy a little for the farmer. The period of harvest is thus of great joy and happiness in all parts of India. Men and women celebrate this harvest as a festival, understood with great enthusiasm. And some harvest festivals are called Pongal, Holi, Diwali, Baisakhi, and all. So the farmer is very ready to harvest his crop. So, what is harvesting? The first point, cutting of crop after its maturation is called harvesting. When the crop is matured, you know what is the meaning of mature, born fruit, okay, or yield the plant grown healthy, produced seed, food grain, and that is the time to harvest the crop. The second point, this harvesting is done by sickle or by a machine called harvester. So, can you see the sickle in the left side? And can you see the machine called harvester here? Yes. With the help of sickle also we can harvest, or with the help of harvester also we can harvest the crop. Third point, grains are separated from chaff by a process called threshing. After harvesting, grains are separated from the chaff. Chaff means the other part of the plant like stem, leaf and all. So we are separating the grain from the other part of the plant. And that process is called threshing. Threshing can be done by beating the chaff on a hard surface. The grains will get separated. You have learned in 6th standard about threshing. And also the next point tells that threshing is carried out by combine. Combine is again a machine. Okay, you can see it here. It does the work of harvesting also. You can see how it is harvesting, and also this harvested crop it will thresh and give back only the grains. So it is doing both the work, harvesting and threshing, and that is done by a machine called combine. So after harvesting, farmers have, this is about harvesting. So some farmers also we know they do the work of winnowing also, and what they will do is they will remove all the dirt particles or dust particles from the grains by winnowing. You have learned that, okay, and in the video I am clearly showing it. In the video I will send one more video about this section. In that they will show everything clearly, okay. So and how that is how the farmers will get the grains, okay, and they will they will do the next process. We will see what is the next process. And after harvesting, some farmers what they will do after harvest, last point, after harvesting some farmers burn the left out substance in the field, and that is not good method, and it is called it causes air pollution. So some farmers what they will do, after harvesting, the some part of the stem and root will be left onto the field. So what they will do, they will burn the field so that the all the materials will convert into ash, and that ash will be mixed with the soil. So that is not a good method, because by burning the leftover materials in the field, this may cause air pollution. And that is what when air pollution was very severe in Delhi, the chief minister Kejriwal sir, he had pleaded the farmers around the or ordered the farmers around the city not to burn the these fields, because it will cause air pollution. So what will happen if it is left without burning? Nothing. Obviously the left out materials of the plant, they will get decayed. If you burn or not burn, it will get decayed automatically. If it get, sometimes if it rains, it will be a easy process. Okay, so that is what. So this is what I have to shown the instruments, and this is combined. And next process is storage of grains. See students, after harvesting, the process is not yet completed, because there is one more important step, that is called storage. Why it is an important step? Because all our hard work, all the hard work of a farmer will go vain or go waste if you miss this last process, that is storage of grains. Why? Because what grains we obtained, that should be stored properly. Okay, otherwise there will be a great loss. Otherwise our grains will be spoiled. So in order to store it properly, we have to undergo these methods. The first point, after threshing, grains are dried in sun and then packed. First, after threshing, we will get the grains, isn't it? And that grain should be dried properly under sunlight. Why we have to dry these grains under sunlight? Because if there is any moisture in the grains, the moisture contents will welcome all our microorganisms. If there is moisture, microorganisms like fungi, bacteria, all will get attacked to the grains. So, in order to prevent its attack, you have to dry the grains in the sun. So, if the grains are attacked by all these fungus and bacteria, the seeds will lose its germination capacity also. Even we cannot eat it, and also the seed will lose its germination capacity, because we want to sow some part of the seeds again for the next farming, isn't it? Yes. So that's why sun drying is very important. We have to dry the grains after harvesting. The next is, after this drying, we have to store, or farmer has to store the food grains in jute bags or metallic bins. Properly we have to store in jute bags or metallic bins. And storing also is, after storing this, sometimes we have to, say in domestic level, we have to put dried neem leaves to prevent the attack of some pests and all. So it is a good pesticide, that is dried neem leaves. Okay, and also we have to check it again and again, because if there is, after we are packing all the things in the jute bags and all, sometimes rats, rodents, they will come and attack the grains. So we have to check it again and again. Next is, large scale storage is done in silos and granaries or stored in godowns. Yes, if you want to store it large scale, especially the food federation and all, the government will store the food grains and all for the further use or for the distribution to the states and all. So they will be using it, storing it in the large silos. Can you see the large silos and all? It is such a huge storage. You can see it. The outside view and inside view is there. And this is what silos. And in the godowns also the food grains are stored. So this storing is also very important method. So how to prevent, I already told it, how to prevent the grain loss. The first one is drying before storage. Maintenance of hygiene. Hygiene means you have to prevent the attack of all the pests, the germs, the microorganisms. You have to maintain a healthy atmosphere there. Third point, dried neem leaves are used for storing grains at home. In large godowns, sometimes specific chemical treatments are also required to protect from pests and microbes. So chemicals are used again and again in the agricultural practices. So beware of that whenever you get the food in your home, when you bring it, whenever you are using it, please wash it properly. Insist your parents also to wash it properly and use it. So improved storage structure is very important. Why it is told that improved storage structure is very important? Because if when there is rainfall, okay, the water should not enter the godowns or in the storage. Okay, then again the water will get mixed with the grains and all. So when you have to, and you should not allow any pest and all to come. So you have to prevent the ways of getting rid of all these rodents and pests. Good aeration should be there. So that is there is a method for storage. The next is animal husbandry. The last point, very small point, that is animal husbandry. What is this animal husbandry? Animal husbandry means rearing of animals in large scale by providing food, shelter and care is called animal husbandry. So we are getting something from these animals. What are we getting? Simply we are not rearing these animals. Okay. So as man is a very intelligent animal, he always does his work if he is getting benefit from it. So what we are getting from these animals? So there are so many things like milk from cow, buffaloes, sheep. Okay, then eggs from poultries, from hens. Fishes are used as food. So many things, so many animals are benefited. So that's why these animals are reared in large scale. Then it is called animal husbandry. Large scale, many animals are reared in large scale, and when we are rearing it, we have to provide it food and shelter. Not only food and shelter, we have to provide it medical or medical facility or treatment at regular intervals. It is called animal husbandry. So this is what. Okay, the very small point to be noted about animal husbandry.